What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Falling Tide TV. As always, my name is Nate, and as you can see today, I wanted to go fishing, but I live in South Louisiana where it rains 24/7. I'm wearing my sportsman gear, Hydrotech hoodie here. I'm gonna have the link to this hoodie right here in the description, so make sure y'all go check that out. They got a lot of cool stuff leading up to teal season on the website as well, so check that out. But what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be doing a little bit of teal season prep for y'all. Usually this time of year, you know, we're a couple of weeks away from teal season. What I like to do is just pull out all my gear, look at it, make sure that, you know, my decoy strings look good, make sure my decoys look good. If I need to replace some decoys, this is a good time to do that. I also go through all of my safety equipment, you know, my dry storage in my boat here, and just make sure that everything is in good condition, because when you get out there on the water, you don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be that guy that's got trash gear on opening day of teal season. You got to make sure that you knock all of that stuff out, you know, before the actual season starts. And I'm also going to shoot my shotgun a couple of times, add some paper and see how it's patterning. So yeah, guys, just teal season prep. We're not going to be getting outdoors and doing a whole lot today. I'm not going after any critters today. I'm just trying to be prepared for whenever we do. Decoy time, y'all. Decoy time. So what I have here is kind of a mess. This is left over from last year. As you can see, I've never touched these decoys since January. They're pretty dirty, dusty, tangled up a little bit, not too bad. You know, these little Texas rigs kind of come in handy. I don't have any expensive, you know, decoy strings or anything like that. This is just your typical, you know, $20 a pack, you know, Texas rigs you get at Walmart or Academy. But I'm gonna start sorting through here. I want to see how many teal decoys I have. I want to see what kind of shape they're in. I want to see, just make sure that I got my teal set up ready for opening morning. So I'm gonna sort through some of these, get all of these gab wall out of here, and I just want to see what I have in teal decoys basically to start off. I'll toss these over on the side. As you can see, usually what I run during big duck season is I run a mix of mostly gadwall and teal, a few spoonies sprinkled in there. But mostly I use avians, and sometimes I use Avery Pro Grade. You know, I got some friends that got Dakotas we mix in there. You know, we're not really like, you know, we're not sponsored by any decoy company or anything like that. So we, you know, we kind of throw what we want out there. We don't really have a, you know, a set brand that we like. As long as it looks like a real duck, I'm happy with it, you know. And nowadays, you know, the way they make decoys nowadays, they're a lot more resilient to getting beat up. They don't use this, like this is the older decoy right here. This is an old greenhead gear decoy, and this is a new age avian. And you know, the avian's got a little bit more give to it. It's a little bit more of a rubbery material, whereas the old school decoys are more plastic. They crack if you step on them in the boat and stuff. So we kind of started to get away from this material and started getting more into the more rubbery material like you get nowadays, and most decoys are made with that. So I think that a lot of these companies are starting to catch on. All right, now we get into the blue wing teal we got here. Got some green wings too. I throw the green wings out there too. I don't think they really care too much, you know. Teal ain't the smartest. I know guys that use nothing but hen mallard decoys during teal season. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that, but I have heard of people doing that. Use nothing but hen mallards. Bigger body birds, they can see them from a long ways away. That's also a little tip for you guys if you're having trouble, you know, decoying teal. You're seeing them, but you're having a hard time decoying them. Is just use bigger decoys, you know. Can only help. It ain't gonna hurt anything. All right, y'all. So I got the ones that I used last year for the most part right there, and I got my model duck decoys right here. But I also pulled out this box here. And in here is some old decoys that I don't really use anymore, along with some old school teal decoys. And I think I'm finally gonna use these old boogers right here. I'm gonna untangle this god-awful mess that I bought them with. I don't even know if I bought these. These things have been sitting in my shed for so long. These might have been given to me by somebody. I don't even know, but I have them. And so I might actually use them this year. There's an old green wing right here. Oh, this one's cracked. See, there you go right there. There's an example. I won't be using that. Might fix it one day, but I doubt it. Look at that. That looks terrible. But we'll put them to good use. All right. And there's my teal decoys that I'm gonna use for teal season right there. So what I'm gonna do first off is I'm gonna get rid of all the strings on these old ones, and I'm gonna clean up all these decoys. That one there is no good. We can get rid of that one. We got this one right here still all tangled up, and that's the downfall of having ropes mixed in with cords here. So we're gonna eliminate that problem. And I'm gonna cut these OG ropes here off of these, as much as it kind of saddens me to do, you know, because this is how these things were used whenever they were in use, with the old style of, you know, the lead weight there and the rope. But you know, it's just easier to deal with the cords. I'm gonna get this off of here. Give me a couple of old school decoys to throw in there. Old school blue ones. We'll clean them up. During the duck season, what I like to do is I generally like to keep my decoys fairly clean, because we do get them very muddy during the season, especially some of the places where we hunt. It's a lot of like lake mud, you know, stuff like that, a real sticky mud, especially in the salt marsh. What I like to do is I just go through the car wash. We have a car wash where you just manually wash your car using a pressure washer. I'll take that pressure washer and I'll keep the ducks fairly clean during the season with that. But before the season starts, I like to give them a really good cleaning. I like to put a little water on and put a little soap on them. And I got this scrub brush here. I like to scrub them down with the soap and try to get them as close to clean as possible. They're never going to be back to perfect again like how you bought them, but it does help. I'll take a few of them here and stick them on the table. Get a little water running here. Put a little water on them. Drizzle a little soap on them here. I just give them a quick scrub. Look at that, y'all. It just gets some of that dust off of them, makes them look a little bit better. To start off the season, I like my decoys to be clean. I like to start off the season with my gear in good shape and tear it up as the season goes on, you know? It takes a little bit of effort, but once you get them all clean and once you get everything all, you know, nice and neat as you can, it does feel good. It really, I don't know, I just like to, feel organized even if I'm not. I don't know if that makes sense. It gives the illusion of organization over here at Fallen Tide. Because I think we're anything but. I mean, this whole video has been spontaneous. I mean, it's just like, I didn't know what I was going to be doing when I came out here. We just do it. Welcome to Fallen Tide TV. And we just wing it. I kind of want to be gentle with these. I don't know why. I feel like I'm gonna hurt these decoys by doing this. See that? Taking the paint off. Old decoy. Oh yeah, I rubbed the paint right off. You hear that? That's some thunder. The rain just don't stop in South Louisiana, y'all. Well, I'm gonna get these things cleaned up, and then we're gonna look at all these cords and see what I can do to get some kind of cords on these. I do have some spare ones in the shed, so I'll try to make sure I got good cords on all of these decoys where they're ready to go for opening morning of teal season. We're gonna get these cleaned up. All right, y'all, so as I'm taking these and putting them on the carabiner here, I'm just kind of inspecting each and every one of these cords. I'm looking for corrosion, you know, make sure they're not dry rotted, and I'm also making sure that right here where it clips on the decoy is not cracked at all. Most of these decoys are really just your game winner decoys that you buy from Academy. Like, again, it's that rubbery material that I really like. They don't have to be world beaters. I mean, we're shooting teal. We're not we're not hunting the most intelligent ducks in the world in September. I do have some old green head gear mixed in here, like this one right here is just the old green head gear decoy. For me, teal hunting, I don't really care so much about how the duck looks. I just want to make sure my gear is in good shape. That way, hauling them out there, we don't have any mishaps with, you know, throwing a decoy and it breaks off in midair. I don't like when that happens. And I also don't want to lose any whenever I'm walking in and carrying these decoys. Or sometimes we do have to carry decoys if we got to walk to like a landlocked pond. So I want to make sure that all this is in good shape. And I got 3 decoys here I gotta go find cords for. I wonder how many ducks have been killed over these old decoys right here. You know, whenever them things right there was in their prime, duck hunting was good in Louisiana. All right. So what I'm gonna do with these is I'm gonna stick them on this nail I got here. I'm gonna just let them sit for a couple of days like that to get all the kinks out of them. All of these little kinks you see in them from them sitting up all year. We're gonna let them just kind of straighten out a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier to tote them around whenever everything's nice and straight. I lost a battery pack in my Teal Mojo, but I noticed that this looked an awful lot like a 9-volt. So this may be, I don't know, this might burn up the little motor in this thing. I don't really know what's gonna happen, but Joe, that thing is rolling. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, this is a different attachment. It's the old school attachment. That's how old this Mojo is. It's got the little nut on it. Yeah, by the way, yes, I use a Dove Mojo during teal season. I don't find it makes any difference. I don't think the teal care. I think they see that little bit of action and they come check it out. Very comfortable using a Dove Mojo for teal. This may or may not be a good idea. I don't know. But I gotta know. I can't just not know. That looks just fine to me. I don't see nothing wrong with that. My guess is 4 AA's equals a 9-volt. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I like it. I like it, I like it. I'll definitely be doing that with this Teal Mojo. I'm gonna use this Teal Mojo this year. I'm gonna find a way to attach some wings on there, even if I can't find the old school wings, which I don't think I'll be able to. And I will be using them things. Yeah, so during teal season, we'll run Dove Mojos. I don't find it makes any difference. I've hunted over the traditional Teal Mojo, hunted over Dove Mojos, and we've had success with both. We ran them both at the same time. We've had ducks light on top of the teal and on top of the dove. I don't find it makes any difference. I think they're just wanting to see that dark to white flicker whenever they're looking across that horizon. I think that's what attracts those teal the most. So I don't feel any type of way about using a Dove Mojo, and they're much cheaper than a Teal Mojo. So I highly recommend, if you guys are out there, looking for Teal Mojos and can't find them, just use the Dove. And I think a lot of people around here do that, but I don't know what states do a teal season, but if you guys have a teal season coming up and you can't find a Teal Mojo, go buy a Dove Mojo. So what I have here is the Mojo pole that I plan on using. And this is the prime example as to why we're prepping right now. Because had I went out and bought this thing, the day before hunting season, it don't fit. So I got 2 options. I could go get me a bigger piece of pipe, or I could shave down the corners on this piece here. I actually like the smaller profile pole here rather than a bigger pole. I don't know that it makes much of a difference, but it just makes me a little bit more comfortable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take my knife here, shave this down on all 4 corners until I get it to fit in here. It ain't gonna take much. It's very close. All right, so I trimmed it down a good bit. All these corners. Good to go. Don't take much. See, the old Mojo used to fit right down in there. And just for your reference, this is a 3/4 piece of conduit right here. So you can use a 3/4 or you can use a 1-inch. If you use a 3/4, you're probably gonna have to trim it down a little bit. Just a heads up. Next thing we're gonna do with this here is I'm gonna paint it black. I got some cheap spray paint here. I'll probably apply it today and then probably have to apply it again tomorrow. And then maybe one more time before the opener, just so it don't chip too much, but it does peel, and you'll notice throughout the season from beating and banging it around in the bottom of the boat, it's gonna lose paint pretty quick. So you might just wanna touch it up here and there. Just putting a light layer on it, nothing crazy. And it's Louisiana, so you know the humidity's bad every day. So I could, you know, usually, you know, you'd want to wait for a day where you don't have humidity and rain and everything, but we don't get them days this time of year in Louisiana. What we have is what we got, and that's all we got to work with. That's all she wrote. All right, so as you can see, I just got a little flat boat. It doesn't have any dry storage whatsoever in it. So what I have to do is I do have to keep, you know, a mini dry storage in the boat with me at all times. This is my old one. It's starting to get a bit dry rotted, so I went and I got a new one, and I just wanted to look through some of the stuff I have in this dry box here. And as you can see, it took on some water. My boat plug hole here got plugged up during the rain, and the water came up to about right here in the boat, and it just drowned this thing out. So a lot of stuff in here I'm probably gonna have to replace. I want to make sure I do all of that before teal season comes around. Little tool set here. It's like, this is my boat papers and stuff. I keep it, you know, doubled up in my Ziploc bags here, so that stayed pretty dry. Here's a rope in case I break down. I like to keep that. I checked these flares earlier before we went to Academy, and they seem to be in good shape. This is like traffic flares is basically what this is. This is not like a, you know, a flare gun or anything like that. I just keep these really just in case somebody falls out of the boat during the winter time, and you know, we need to make an emergency fire on the bank somewhere, or if I need to signal to another boat or something like that. I do like to keep these flares on hand. A lot of old stuff in here that's probably going to get replaced or completely taken out. I use these battery operated running lights most of the time. I don't have lights running here at all. Probably something I should probably do, but unfortunately I don't. So I just use the battery operated lights, and I usually try to keep backup. Like, this is a backup. I got one on the front right now. We were just playing around with them earlier, but I do like to keep a backup of both the back and the front at all times. Got some pain reliever in here, and I got a lighter. Always got to keep a lighter, make sure it's got butane in it, as this one does. So this one will go into this box. Flashlight here. There you go, still works. Everything got wet, but a lot of the stuff survived. I don't think it got too wet. I keep backup batteries, which these look like they're just soaked, so I'll probably get rid of these. Keep a couple of knives. You know, you never know whenever you might need a knife. And last year, the lanyard that I had a whistle that stayed on it, but I actually got rid of that lanyard. So in this dry box, which is what all of this stuff is going in, I added a safety whistle here. So I'm gonna start filling up this dry box here, moving stuff over from the old one to the new one, and you know, just trying to keep all of that safety equipment you know, dry and ready in case we need it. Hopefully we never have to use this kind of stuff, but accidents happen out there, and you know, we like to be prepared for that sort of thing. I don't want to start duck season off on the wrong foot with not having the right safety equipment. Speaking of that, one thing I always check going into the duck season, into the teal season, I just look at my kill switch. A lot of times these kill switches will start to get dry rotted, and last thing you want is when you're out there, your kill switch to come apart on you. So just make sure you inspect that before you start the season. Make sure that nothing looks like it's really corroded or rusted in any kind of way, or just dry rotted, which this one looks like it's in really good shape. So yeah, it's one of the things I like to check. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that with y'all, and I encourage y'all to take safety seriously whenever you're out there on the water. And make sure y'all keep, this is one thing, man, a lot of people don't keep flares, and I know people that have had to use these in emergency situations where they, you know, fell overboard and they needed to make a fire, and it might be, everything might be wet. But if you can use a flare, these suckers right here will light wet wood. It will. These things will burn for a while. They burn hot, and also they burn bright in case you need to get another boat's attention. So keep these little flares. I know people got flare guns in most of their boats, but get these hand flares too. All right, y'all, so the next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna shoot my shotgun at these pieces of corrugated material here. And I'm gonna find something, you know, that big or so. I'll draw a circle around it, and I'm actually gonna count the BB holes. I'm just curious to how many are gonna be in that circle, you know, about the size of a duck. I'm not gonna do the whole 30-inch circle to pattern it that way. But I got 2 shells I'm gonna shoot. I got a Boss shell for big duck season, and then I got I think it's heavy steel number 4 shot. Let me see. Oh, I got them in my pocket. I got some heavy steel number 4 shot left over from last year. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a big load for teal, but right now you can't find nothing at the stores. I'd have to order something for teal if I wanted to, but I do have a case of Boss shells that I'm gonna shoot. This is 2 3/4 number 4 shot. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot both of these rounds, and I'm just curious to see what they look like on paper. The whole setup is a Beretta Outlander A300, and I have a Carlson Cremator long range choke that I keep in it during big duck season. This is what I'm gonna shoot with, but I think as we get closer to teal season, I might take it out, put the modified in it, and see how that looks. I might like the modified a little bit better for teal season than this, because this is a lot for a teal. Number 4 shot is going to be devastating to a teal, so I might have to change this out, but I do want to look at it anyway. I have to get me another piece of material for that, because I don't have another one of these signs here. All I got is 2, so I have to give me another one, and then I'll shoot the heavy steel with the modified. This circle ain't got to be perfect. It's just something for me to put my eye on whenever I'm shooting. I don't know if any of you guys ever patterned a shotgun, but you just put something on the paper, that way you can fixate your eye in the middle of this thing and shoot at it, and then where you see the biggest concentration, that's where you hit. You're probably gonna be a little bit off here and there, but you take something, a circular like a bucket or something, you put it over that, and then you draw you a circle and you count your holes within that circle. You take different types of shells and you shoot them at targets like this, and you see which one has the most BBs within that diameter of a circle. That's how you know what shot shell is gonna pattern the best out of your shotgun. And as y'all could probably hear right now, it is raining. I don't really like to pattern a shotgun in the rain. I really like that just, you know, comfortable weather. I like the 65 degrees, 70 degrees, you know, not a lot of wind and no rain to pattern a gun. But in Louisiana, we kind of got to take what the good Lord gives us, which is rain today. And it does rain a lot here in Louisiana during duck season. So it might not be a bad thing for me to shoot this thing in the rain today. I'm gonna go stick these out there and shoot at them. So I'm gonna shoot the Boss shell first, and it's about, I don't know, that's about 20 yards or so. I'm not out here stepping to see, you know, the yardage, but I am gonna keep it consistent. We're gonna put the next sign the exact same distance. And I got this little spot right here marked where I'm standing, so ducks are already showing up. Boss shell. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna keep my left foot on this. And you just tell me when you're ready. All right. Here we go. All right. That looks pretty good. That looks lethal for big ducks for sure. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Next up is the heavy steel number 4 shot. This is likely what I'll be shooting for teal, just because right now shells are hard to find. I got some of these left over. I also got some number 2 shots sitting in there. That's dry lock. I really don't want to shoot those. I'd really like to shoot as many of the number 4 shots as I can besides the Boss shells. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and shoot this heavy steel number 4 shot and see how this does. All right. This also looks really good, man. That also looks real good. Look at that. It's a good looking pattern. It's a little tight. A little tight. Teal probably wouldn't like it very much. You know, we do like to eat the teal, so it may not be the best decision to shoot the cremator, but the modified, it might look good. I gotta wait for another day to where I can get another one of these boards, and I'll take it outside and shoot with the modified. I might end up shooting that for teal probably. I don't think I'm gonna use that tight of a choke for teal, but we'll see. Maybe on a bad weather day when you got really high winds, this might be the ticket right here, but I think that's a little bit too much devastation there for a teal. All right, you guys, so I got this fancy frying pan here that I'm just gonna find like the, you know, the most concentrated area of BBs, and I'm gonna put a circle there. So to me, it's somewhere around like right here. That looks about right to me. Draw a circle. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. That one is the this one is the heavy steel, and this one is the ball shell. I'm not trying to make this rocket science or anything like that. Just trying to get an idea of what my pattern is like. And this is actually going to help me for big duck season as well, because, you know, the shell shortage and things like that we had last year, you know, I might have to branch out and use different types of shells that I may not usually use. So it's kind of good to know what patterns well out of my full choke as well. So I'm gonna sit here. I'm not gonna make y'all sit here with me while I count all of these BBs, but I will give y'all the final number as to what's inside that circle. And I'm gonna go ahead and measure this, and I'm gonna see how big of a circle that is, so I can let y'all know that as well, to give y'all an idea in case y'all got a setup that's similar to mine as far as the gun. So it's about 12 inches or so. It's very close to 12. I'd just say it's a 12-inch circle. And I'm gonna sit here and count all of these holes. All right, y'all, so I just finished counting all of this. The heavy steel, number 4 shot, there was 120 pellet holes within that 12-inch diameter circle. On the Boss, it was 110. So I mean, both I would say, you know, performed well. There might be a little bit of, you know, the fact that this was the second shot out of the gun, that you have to factor that in. You know, it might have been a situation, excuse me, where you know, the barrel might have been a little warmer on the second shot, and so, you know, when something warms up, it does expand a little bit. So I mean, you really don't know, you know. And then of course we had the rain, but 120 and 110, that's very close. I mean, if it was 120 and, you know, 86 or something like that, I mean, now we got a situation where should I be actually shooting heavy steel? I would say that the Boss probably has more knockdown power, and I've seen that in the field already. So I think I probably feel a little bit more comfortable with the Boss, but they are very similar as far as, you know, how many pellets is in the circle. But the heavy steel did have more pellets, which tells me that's probably going to be a decent shell for Teal. Just being that it seems to hold a little bit better pattern. Hopefully that carries over into Teal season, and those shells will do good for me. I would like to see it with that modified choke though, and I think I might post that on like my story or something like that. If any of y'all see this video and want to see how it performs with the modified choke, stick around. Follow me on Instagram. I might even post it to, you know, the YouTube Shorts. I might even post it on there. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, guys, this was just a video for you guys to see kind of what we do as far as our teal season prep and also duck season prep. I tend to do the same kind of stuff. But yeah, I just don't want to be that guy that gets out there in the field and none of his gear is in order, you know, trying to get things together the last minute. I like to do stuff ahead of time, and we're about 2 weeks away from teal season. So this kind of stuff really gets me excited. I really like, you know, doing anything that has to do with waterfowl hunting. We're going to wrap up the video right there. I really appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave it a like and consider hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate that. And I'll see y'all next time on Falling Tide TV.